Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Became the God of Sound. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto from the Uzumaki Curse over in Anime King 3. And enjoy that guys. And over in Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was the god of space, time, and will, so go ahead and enjoy that, guys. And also remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Sasuke watched as Naruto was devoured by the giant beast in the forest of death. But the beast then started to swell and swell and swell and swell until it exploded as Naruto dropped out, covered in goo, as his hair was turned green. Uncle laughed when she saw this. She had surveillance on them the entire time, in case anything bad happened, as she told them that they succeed by surviving for 24 hours. It was up to them if they want to go on or go back. As she looked towards Hinata, seeing that the girl had going through a lot that she didn't expect, Hinata thought about it, as it was really difficult. As she started to question herself a bit, but she looked towards her teammates, who had full faith in her. She didn't want to let them down, and she also didn't want to prove that she could not do this. She wanted to succeed, so she agreed as all of them joined together and created the team. With that, Naruto had to get a new guitar. His was broken upon saving Hinata from that beast, but he didn't mind that. He used it to save a friend. As he made his way towards the music shop within Konoha, the woman there saw him. As to her shock, he was correct as he could play every instrument. She then brought him a guitar that belonged to someone in her family that passed away a long time ago. The music was so sweet and amazing that it spread over Konoha and touched several people's hearts. One of those people being Neji, who always blamed Hinata for what happened, but it was never truly her fault. The music did something to him that made him realize that he blamed the wrong person, and he wished to apologize. The woman wanted to give Naruto the guitar, as she told him when he mastered it completely, he should return. When the guitar allowed him to play it completely, he should return and play her a song. As he agreed, thanking her as he made his way. After visiting Sasuke, he made his way to go speak with Hinata. On the way, he met Neji there. When the both of them arrived, something was happening. As Neji scanned the door and saw, he kicked open the door as he saw Hayashi choking his own daughter. Upon the revelation of finding out that the Hokage wanted to take her away, saying that he was unfit, the man had lashed out at her, and poor Hinata was not able to defend herself. As Naruto and Neji attacked him, they were to free Hinata as Naruto was gonna kill him. The fox took over right there and then. Naruto had such a tight control over his emotion, the fox never truly got to run rampant. But he was able to fully synchronize with his body. It beat the living crap out of Hayashi and dragged him off in the forest, so he would die out there from chakra poison. When Naruto returned to his senses, he didn't know what happened. Neji had gone through a traumatic experience with a seal in his forehead. Hinata. Naruto rushed into the hospital as quick as possible. As everyone came by, Anko kind of blamed herself because she was the one that told the Anvu about what happened, and that woman was all business. Upon hearing that Hayashi didn't even look at the note that his daughter gave him, she had came to criticize the man. And well, that is what made him lashed out, and several other more things. So with that, Naruto waited and waited, Neji was fine. The seal did not hurt him too badly, but, well, it did put him to a lot of pain, so it would take a while for him to wake up. Hinata, on the other hand, she took a while to wake up. When she finally did, Naruto was happy. As he came by to see her and he saw Sasuke hugging her, he knew that Sasuke liked her as well. But the hug was out of content, as Hinata was happy to be awake and hear the things that happened, and hear that Neji did not hate her anymore, and she had hugged Sasuke. Naruto just wanted her to be happy, and he also wants Sasuke to be happy as well, so if they found each other, he would not complain. He took some time as he brought his guitar towards one of the nearby towns, as he played for the people. They even gave him money as well. He ran into a Kunoichi. She was from Kumo, it seems. When she showed him his headband, he was surprised. It turns out that she was running from a few missing ninjas. Seeing them coming, Naruto did the only thing possible as he pulled her into a kiss. People would not pay attention to two couple kissing. As he looked away, Naruto and her rushed out. But she was a bit pissed off that he would just steal a kiss from her like that. But they ran into someone. It was Hayashi. A few moments earlier, a man came to Hayashi, offering him a fruit. Hayashi had eaten the fruit, and he gained the ability to control flames. It was the devil fruit, but this one seemed like it was crafted by someone, not from a tree, because the powers were unstable as Naruto and Yujido fought him. It was then that Yujido found out that Naruto was a Jinchuriki as well in Nine Tails. Anko had found him sometime later as Hayashi had died from burning himself up. As she was rather angry to see Naruto out here, not visiting Hinata but here with some other girl. But Naruto tried to explain, but Yujido had to fight Anko for some moment until Naruto released a sound that caused him to fall into a strange. It was like a illusional state, where they could not really focus well. With that, they returned back to the village as they speak to Hiruzen. Knowing that she was a missing nin and this could cause trouble for Konoha, Hiruzen decided to keep her name out of many things, but he would allow her to be a part of the village, but she couldn't be out in the public. And he also had a first mission for her as well, but she saw that he kept her away from the village, just in case, as that was the right thing to do. As Hiruzen heard about this fruit that Hayashi ate, if someone was in the Fire Nation spreading this power, this was bad. As she agreed to the mission, as Anko told Naruto he had someone to meet, and that was Hinata, as he felt really bad and just jump into conclusions like that. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the place for yourself, so this will be in this new episode. Naruto made his way to the hospital. He was about to enter Hinata's room when someone gripped him by the collar and slammed him into the wall. "Where the hell have you been?" said Sasuke. As Naruto looked at him, "I made a mistake. And I was also getting something," he said. "Look, I saw her kiss you. I thought the both of you needed space alone." Sasuke groaned and slapped his hand to his forehead. "I also got something," said Naruto. "You take it. I should be the one to give it to her. At least right now." In his hand was a scorch headband. "It was her father," said Naruto. Sasuke swallowed as he took it with a nod. "Now is not a good time for this. I'll give it to Neji. Now get in there and make things better between the two of you." As Sasuke walked away, Naruto took a breath as he walked inside. "Hinata." Hinata turned as she sat up. She paused as she felt pain in her throat. She grabbed a notepad as she hastily wrote down his name, Naruto-kun. "I take it you miss me," he said. "Hinata, look, I'm really sorry. I saw you kiss Sasuke and I thought..." Hinata looked humiliated. She thought that he hated her now, as she ducked under her blankets. Naruto walked over. "Please come out, Hinata-chan," he said. "Please don't make me apologize to a blanket," he said, as she didn't move. "Well, I guess I'll just have to come in there," said Naruto. Her face turned beet right here and that, as she slowly lowered the edge, her eyes looking at him. "Is that all I'm gonna get?" he asked. She nodded her head. "Well, I suppose that will do." "Hinata, I'm really sorry," he said. "I should have just come in and talked to you after a while. Can you ever forgive me?" he asked, as he lowered his head. Hinata wrote something under her blanket. As she brought up the notepad, she was still hiding the rest of her face. "Only if you tell me how you really feel." Naruto scratched his chin. How to sum it up in a word? He snapped his fingers as he moved over. Hinata watched as he pulled the blanket away. He leaned in and kissed her, right on the lips. Her eyes went wide. Her heart monitor skyrocketed before it went calm once again, as she had fainted. Moments later she woke up, as he was standing right there. "That is how I feel about you, Hinata-chan," he said. You hold a big piece of my heart. Maybe not the only piece, but the biggest. As he gave her a smile, he then decided to tell her the Hokage has given us our next mission. Someone is growing a very dangerous fruit somewhere on the ocean. We are to go find the person and stop them. She wrote, "What about my father?" "That has been decided. I am to stay with you for now and make sure he doesn't come back for you." "Then we set sail for the Grand Line," he said. She wrote, "But I thought the Grand Line was just a story." "It isn't. You see, my bloodline ability is from there. Oh yeah, I also got a new guitar." As she wrote, "Naruto-kun, do you forgive me for what happened to your first guitar?" "You asked me that already," said Naruto. "And I told you, I would sacrifice the guitar 100 times if it was to save your life," said Naruto. "And Fukahun is a great guitar. Just listen," said Naruto. As he took it off his back and started to play, Hinata leaned up in the bed as she listened. He sat beside her and played. The song that he played was so heartwarming. When he was finished, Hinata had tears in her eyes as they started to flow down her cheeks. "So, what do you think?" said Naruto. As she wrote, "I can't put it in words," she said. Naruto's about to say something, but a nurse spoke. "I hate to break this up, but you're exciting. Too much of our patients. I will have to ask you to leave." "Oh, sorry." "Well then," as he gave Hinata another kiss, "I'll see you tomorrow." As he made his way off, the nurse yelled at him for exciting the patients once again. Time skip. 2 weeks later. Team 7. "I know this is rushing it, but there's no choice," Sarutobi said. "As you already know, you leave Land of Fire soon. To be precise, in a month time, Yujito and Jiraiya will have the passage and supplies needed ready. So I'm going to have to get you ready in that amount of time." Aruka cleared his throat. "What the Hokage mean is by passing Uncle's tests, you've already proven yourself to work together in life-threatening situations. So there's no need of rank D missions. Although I can't really fully approve of this decision, I can't help but say it's correct as well. So you're gonna jump right into C rank missions." As Naruto noticed, Aruka kept on glancing towards Uncle. He couldn't take it anymore. "For crying out loud, are the two of you item or not?" he asked. As they looked at him shocked, Aruka looked away as he scratched his cheek, blushing. Uncle had no such shyness though. "Hell yeah, he actually does this thing with his more information than we need," all three of them yell. While Naruto and Sasuke yell. As Hinata just squeaked, Sarutobi coughed. "But to the mission at hand. Your next mission is an escort mission. The client is Tazuna. You are to take him to his home and protect him until the bridge there is completed. Hinata, I need to know. Can you do this?" She rubbed her neck as she nodded. "Alright, I will introduce you then." He nodded as Aruka left the room. He came back some moments later. "So these are the ninjas that will be protecting me?" An old man said as he stepped inside. The blonde with a dumb look on his face doesn't even look like a ninja, with that stupid guitar on his back. As Naruto reached behind him and took his guitar off his back, most of them thought he was going to try and play a song, but instead he swung it after the man. The bottle of sake that Tazuna was about to put to his lips. To his shock, it was sliced clean. Tazuna laughed nervously, seeing how clean the bottle was sliced, and he barely saw the brat. "Huh, so you do know what you're doing." "My name is Tazuna. I am the master bridge builder of Land of Wave. I expect you to do that to anyone who tried to attack me or steal my supplies." "Respect for respect," said Naruto, as he nodded his head. "Let's go." As they made their way off, "Hokage-sama, why are you sending them on a mission to stop this fake devil fruit?" asked Aruka. "I'm not surprised you don't know, but Naruto is deeply connected to this. And I believe that him and Jiraiya knows the most on how to stop this. And also, Naruto might have always dreamed to be Hokage, but I think he has another dream. I don't know because he hasn't told me, but all the stories he has been told by Jiraiya, all the songs that he sings, or if the flag in his rooms are any sign, I think he wants to go on an ocean vacation. Or maybe he wants to become a pirate himself. But we're ninjas." "You're right. Such a dream is a fantasy to us. But this will be a way to let him live out that dream." "So, favoritism you're showing," Aruka said. "What good is me being Hokage if I cannot help my adopted grandson achieve his dream?" Hiruzen said. Hinata was cautious as she looked around, as the group were making their way. As she had her beacon activated every few seconds to see if anyone was coming nearby. She then saw something. Uncle Sensei, there are two ninjas up ahead. How far? Quarter of a mile. Alright, stop, Uncle said. The group came to a stop. Alright, there are two ninjas ahead. They might just be passing through, but I doubt it. I think they're waiting to ambush someone. Now let us find out if they're after us. She looked towards Naruto as he nodded. Underneath, said Naruto as he created 5 clones. 4 of them transformed into one of the others. They then started to walk as the real Naruto stood there waiting. He then waited until... My clones are dead, he said after a while. They took you out first, Uncle Sensei. And they were in a rush to go after Tazuna. Seems like they found out that you were clones. They're after him, not us, said Naruto. Prepare yourself, Uncle said as she watched as the 2 of the men run down towards them. Hinata took a position in front of Tazuna. As Naruto drew Fukahuna off his back, Sasuke pulled a kunai. Uncle smirked. Let the killing time begin. As Naruto started to play the music. Snakes! One of the demon brothers said. They're under my skin. Get him out, he screamed. He dug his own claw in his arm as blood sprayed out. As Naruto wondered if that might have been too much, the other one ran towards Sasuke. As he swung his claw, Sasuke ducked and came up and sliced. Forcing the man to jump back, Sasuke was upon him within seconds. He flipped over the man and kicked him in the back. The man flipped and staggered a bit as he stopped right in front of Hinata. Hinata thrust forward as she hit him right in the legs. As she then hit him in the back of the neck. As he collapsed, Uncle came back holding on to the other one that tried to tear his own skin off because of what Naruto did, as she had knocked him out. Nice work, all of you. Uncle then looked towards Naruto. Why snake, she asked. As Naruto pointed towards a tree, there was a snake on a branch. Well, I saw that. Now why didn't I see that, Uncle said as she walked over. She took the snake off the tree, as it came down on her arm. As she looked at him and pet him on the head, she then came over. Now I saw poison on that one's claws. Did anyone get hurt? Nope, we're all fine. As she tied up the demon brothers, and called for someone to pick them up. Alright, let's walk, and you talk, she said. You're still going through with it? Asked Tazuna as he looked at the snake, because it was looking at him over her shoulder. Are we heading back to Konoha? She asked him. No, I just wonder why. Well, whatever lies ahead, these 3 can handle it. Other Jonins would probably go back, but I'm far from other Jonins. When you have a chance, ask these 3 about the test I put them through, to see if they could cut it as ninjas. Now, give me the details so I can know what you're going up against. He nodded gratefully as he started to explain everything. Timescape the mist was rather thick, so thick that Naruto's sound couldn't even travel far in it. It gave him a feeling of helplessness that he hasn't had since the last time he almost drowned. This was not his era to fight in as he glanced around. As he remembered what Tazuna told him, this Gato guy wanted Tazuna dead. Of the Gato trading company, he had sent his people to claim the Land of Waves, and that he had hired a few missing names to deal with them. Uncle's reply was, sounds like fun. And with that the group had headed off to assist Tazuna, who was really grateful for their assistance. Because if they had turned back on him and leave, there was no doubt that he would have died, as these people were after his head, and he was grateful that they were coming along to help him survive. Naruto glanced around. The fog was sapping natural sounds and his Oto Oto sounds. He already tested with Hinata and Sasuke. His Oto Oto bliss and fear or anger did not reach anyone. It just stopped about 10 feet away from him. The same as his genjutsus. His Oto Oto wail was the strongest attack he had, and it reached about 20 feet ahead of him. So he had been reduced to a mid-range combat user right here. He couldn't even use his echolocation as he glanced around. Hinata was using her Byakugan as she paused. There's a man ahead of us, she said. He has a really big blade. Uncle grew suspicious hearing that. What does he look like, she asked. From tip to bottom, it's over 7 feet long. It's about a quarter wide, and there's a circle right at the end. A Zambedo. Mean that it must be Zabuza, demon of the hidden mist. Well, we have 2 choices. Go around. If there's another way to his house, or fight a Jonin. Does he have anyone else with him? Just a rabbit. Wait, there's someone further in the trees. He's wearing a hunter ninja mask, but he's watching the road, not Zabuza. An assistant, Uncle thought. Really? Every team should have a Hyuga. 2 fights now she had warned them about. Is he strong? Sasuke asked. Very, said Uncle. Let's do this, said Naruto. Uncle grinned. I really like these brats. Yeah, I'll fight him. You 3. Protect Tazuna foremost. Only fight if he attacks you. But make sure not to throw your life away. After all, even limbs are replaceable for us, but our life are not. Time skip. Naruto-kun, are you nervous? Hinata asks. I'm fine, Hinata-chan. Just rearing to go, said Naruto. But he didn't sound it. He sounded like he was one step from falling into something that was too big for him. Does he scare you that much? Asked Hinata. No, said Naruto. After all, we fought those creatures at the forest of death, and we survived. It's something else. He turned his gaze towards the water. I can't swim. Is that all? Sasuke said. Just learn. No, the problem is far deeper than that, said Naruto. Huh? I'm incapable of swimming. Just a drawback of my bloodline. Why didn't you tell us? Asked Hinata. When Naruto hesitated, Uncle answered. Would you want to brag about such weakness? She said. I mean, if the Byakugan could not see a certain spot, would you tell people where it is? Or what the Sharingan could not see through, if there was such a thing? We strive to eliminate weakness from ourselves. But you can't get rid of something that is actually a part of you. Hinata hung her head as Sasuke looked away, both of them wondering if she knew, or if she was just guessing. As they got closer, Hinata watched. She didn't think that she could stop him, but she could merely hold him off long enough for one of the others to get to him. He threw his blade. Get down, said Hinata, as all of them took to the ground. The blade whipped over their heads, before it embedded into a tree, as someone appeared in the hilt. The old man. Give him to me. As Uncle smirked. Since you put it that way, you can kiss my tight ass, she said. Naruto groaned. Talk sex later, Uncle-chan. Uncle? Said Zabuza. Ah, as in the snake mistress, Uncle. I've heard stories about you. In or out of the bedroom, she asked. Both, said Zabuza. So there's nothing I could say that would just let you give me the old man? Nope, all 4 of them said. Well then, he leaped onto the lake. As he placed the blade on his back, he flashed to hand sign. As mist filled the entire area, killer intent flooded the area. Now, said Zabuza. I choose rock. I choose paper. I choose paper. As Sasuke groaned, man, I'm last. But it would probably be over by then. Zabuza paused. The damn kids were playing rock, paper, scissors. Did they take this for a joke? As Uncle barely kept herself from laughing, knowing that Zabuza would be angry right now, which he was as he flashed right into the center. But the moment he did, he lost feelings in his leg as Hinata assaulted them. She then palm struck him directly in the heart, but he burst into water. 3 more water cones coming at us, Uncle Sensei, Hinata called out. Naruto-kun, if you would please, I need a hint. Naruto nodded as he closed his eyes and started to hum. There, he pointed. She shot her arms out as snakes extended from them, as the clone burst into water. As Naruto pointed his uncle eradicate all of them, until Naruto pointed without saying a word. Uncle smirked as she lashed out her snakes. Zabuza was bitten as blood came out this time. How did you find me? He said, ripping his snakes off him. You may be a master at killing, Zabuza, but when one of your opponents can amplify and negate sounds, what good is that? As Naruto gave Zabuza a yosh. It was barely a mumble, but it was heard all over the lake. As the idea popped in Naruto's head, why didn't he think of that before? She lashed out snakes once again. This time Zabuza caught them and yanked her towards the lake. As he quickly created a clone, who attacked her instantly, forcing her to jump back, which was a mistake because the moment she landed, he came from the water and flooded her with water prison, trapping her inside. As he created 4 clones. I'll take care of the brats first, and then on to the old man. You underestimate him, Naruto called out. Shut it, brat, Uncle yelled back. You 3 honestly think that you're a ninja, the clone ahead of him said. When I was your age, my hands were already soaked in blood. Looks like I'm up, said Naruto. Oh, Sasuke-chan, he said. If you really want something to do, why don't you handle the observer? Watch it, dope, Sasuke said. And I don't know where he is. I can't see around like you two. Zabuza and his assistant in the trees went wide-eyed. They knew he was there? I will, Hinata said, as she leaped off in the trees. Be safe, Hinata, Naruto thought, as he took his guitar off his back. And as for you, you have no idea how much blood have stained our hands. Personally, I killed 2 men. You don't want to know about how indirectly. 2 men? Zabuza laughed. That's rich. Bandits, no doubt. No, one was a Chunin. I tortured him before he died, while I held him in place. The other was a clan head of the Taiga clan. I did worse to him. Naruto thought about himself getting so mad that he tore Hayashi's stomach open and left him to die, and he did not even remember. Alright, maybe you aren't that worthless. The clone rushed forward and swung the Zambedo, as Naruto blocked it with his guitar. When I read the Forbidden Scroll, it compared 2 types of clones. The basic clone is beaten hands down. The Earth clone is more a defensive jutsu. The Fire clones explode when they are hit. Lightning clones deliver a powerful shock. Wind clones is just a master of moving blades. And the Water clones, all around a well-rounded clone, except to get that, it lost about 10% of the original power. Huh, you're just a know-it-all, aren't you, Brad, said Zabuza. Naruto pushed the blade of the guitar forward and sliced right through the blade in the clone hand and also tear right through it. Using the guitar as an axe, the clone behind that one said, as it dispelled. You're a Metallica fan, aren't you? He asked. Naruto looked genuinely surprised. How did you know? Honestly, could it be any more apparent? Asked Sasuke. It doesn't matter. Who's next? Said Naruto. They did not decide. All of them rushed towards them. Naruto leaped and captured all of their blades. As Naruto smirked, one of the clones saw something coming as he leaped away. Oto Oto wail! The other 2 burst into water, as the other one rushed towards Naruto from the side. My turn, said Sasuke as he used Naruto's shoulder as a springboard and leaped upwards. The clone tried to cut him down with his blade, but Sasuke used the kunai to parry to the side. He then flipped on the clone's back and drive the kunai right into his back. As he slammed him into the ground, the clone burst into water. No, that's how you smash a clone, Naruto-kun, said Sasuke, teasing him as he did him before. Hey, that was mine, said Naruto. Zabuza was confused. These kids were taking on his clone like they were nothing. Anko has not been doing nothing this time. She had found out that with chakra, you could get something no wider than a finger through the water. And also, humans are not the only creature that possess chakra in this world. Her little snake Nebichan slipped from Anko's shoulders and moved forward, passing through the water. The snake then wrapped around Zabuza's leg as he was not even paying attention, before it yanked him away. Shit, he cursed. Damn thing. As Anko got up, her hair and clothing was soaked. When he turned back towards Anko, she was now on top of an anaconda. Get him. As the snake chased after Zabuza, who jumped away. As her little snake Nebichan came back on her shoulder. Oh, Nebichan here's a coral snake. And a coral snake has one of the most lethalest toxins in the world. Of course, if you could get a sample of it, you would have been able to make an antitoxin, she said as she scratched the snake's head. Meanwhile, Naruto heard Hinata cry as he leaped toward the trees, appearing in front of the hunter Nin, but he flashed away as he appeared beside Hinata. She had senmons in her neck. He caught her before she could fall. What did you do? She would live if you listen to what I say. What do you want? Said Naruto. Just let me retrieve Zabuza-sama. What do I do? Said Naruto. Keep pressure to the vein of her neck and carefully remove them. As the hunter Nin vanished after that, Zabuza was in pain. His legs felt like he was burning and he couldn't even stay above the water. The damn toxin from the snake. Haku appeared next to him, throwing the senmon toward the snakes. We must retreat, Zabuza-sama. As much as I hate to say it, you're right. Help me, he said. She placed the arm around him and flashed away with him. As Naruto jumped down holding the alive Hinata in his arms, as she was still awake. What are the chances that he died from the poison? Naruto asked. None too slim, Uncle said, as she released the summons that brought the anaconda there. Time skip. Damn that wicked woman, Zabuza says he lied down in the bed. What is the damage, Haku? Just like she said, a neurotoxin. Zabuza-sama, I thought you knew enough about snakes to remember to keep ahead of the poisonous ones. It slipped my mind, he said as he groaned. Another pain hit him. Can you cure it or not? He asked. I can, but I can only slow it down now without a sample. I'm going to have to get that snake one way or another. red, black and yellow snake. You wouldn't think they would be hard to find with their color, but they spend most of their lives hidden. They're the ninjas of the snake world. And she keep one as a damn necklace. Zabuza said as he grunted once again. Haku pulled out a syringe and a needle. Zabuza looked at the needle. As Haku looked at him, the mighty demon, afraid of a small needle, he brought the needle down fast and inject a strange grey-looking syringe in his leg. As he emptied it, Zabuza growled out, "If you weren't that used to me, I would kill you for that. If only." Haku said that smile on his face. "All better now. You want me to get you a book? You'll be here for a bit." Zabuza couldn't help but chuckle. He didn't say it in front of him, but Haku made things interesting here. And he was glad that he was here with him, after all. He just saved him. Time skip. Naruto sighed. Of all the things he could be doing right now, this was not on the list. He was having a stare-off with Nebi-chan. Well, he thought he was, but he couldn't really tell for sure. Ever since she was placed in the windowsill, Nebi had not moved a single inch. Her tongue not even flickering. Her eyes open. "Naruto-kun, I want you to protect Nebi-chan. She's a high priority target right now," Uncle had told him. As Naruto kept on looking at her, "Must not blink," said Naruto, as Nebi tilted her head, showing that she was indeed awake, as she was just looking at him. As Sasuke then spoke, "We are going into the 20-minute mark of the steering competition. The challenger, Uzumaki Naruto, is digging deep to keep from not blinking, but as we can clearly see, the calm and collected champion, Nebi-chan, has him on the rope." "That she does," Sasuke-kun, Hinata said. "Experience is obviously at play here. Naruto-kun has never learned how to stay patient." "My life is a joke to you too, huh?" said Naruto. Sasuke replied yes instantly as Hinata said no. Uncle looked over. "Maybe I should find him something to do," she said, as she was having a drink with Azuna. "What is so important about that snake in your axe?" She bit Zabuza, a ninja working for Gato, and injected him with a poison. So they will need her or another coral snake of same type to cure him. And they are not from around here, Sasuke said. "I win!" Naruto cheered. As he finally get to blink, his eyes feel like sandpaper. "They will comfort," Inoue said. "No doubt," said Naruto. "But it's my job to protect her. And by protecting Nebi-chan, I protect your godfather." "Why bother? You will all die anyway," he says. He left the room. Sasuke groaned. "Emo," he said. Time skip. Anko had brought them to the forest. "Alright, time for training," she said. "What we'll be doing is depend on what you can do. Hinata, show me a jutsu." I only know the ones that were taught to graduate," she said. Anko sighed. "Let me guess. Some Hyuga superiority thing that the Jayugen is all that you need." Hinata nodded. "Alright, fine then. Create as much clones as you can, and let's see how long you can hold them for. Go." She then turned towards Sasuke. "You have fire jutsus, right?" "A few," Sasuke said. "But you only used taijutsu in those last fights." "I used too much chakra," he said. "Thought so. I will have you tree climbing. And Naruto-kun, I don't even need to ask about your chakra consumption. Rin told me, water walking by the age of 7 is no small feat. I still hesitate when it comes to it though," said Naruto. "Then that is what we will work on," said Anko. "Work on what?" "To get you to stop hesitating, of course." She bit her thumb and wiped it on her palm as she ran through a hand sign. "Summoning jutsu!" A white snake that was big enough to eat a man appeared underneath her. She stood on top of his head. She looked down. "Shina-san," she said, "may I ask you a favor?" "What might that favor be, Uncle-chan?" the snake said. He used his tail to ruffle her head like she was a child. "Naruto-kun here can't swim, but he knows how to walk in water." Wise choice. "But I sense there's a problem," the snake said. "Yes." He hesitated to walk on it even though he knew that he won't sink. "Ah, a problem indeed." He focused on Naruto. "I will give you this one chance to give it up." "You can't just make a person give up a fear," said Naruto. "No, I can't. But I can replace it with a bigger fear," he said. He reared back and opened his mouth, revealing 3 rows of teeth, all of them dripping acid. He struck at Naruto, who rolled away. "Naruto-kun, don't forget. You have Nebi-chan with you," Uncle said happily. How could he forget? She's wrapped around his neck, and she don't like being tossed around or jumped around. "You mean I have to just run away?" said Naruto. "That is exactly what she said, child," said Shina as he turned towards Naruto. "Or you would end up like that ninja. What happened yesterday?" "Damn," said Naruto as he started to run. "Naruto-kun," Hinata cried out. As she was about to run after him, "Don't," Uncle said. Naruto continued to find his hands. "Well, you get my meaning. He will not really hurt him. Scare him half to death, but he'll be whole when you return to us." She turned towards Hinata. The girl had excellent control. She had created 17 clones. She didn't turn her head. "Now, Sasuke, this is how I want you to start climbing." As she was gonna make him refine his shot control, so he didn't have to waste so much. Meanwhile, Naruto was running for his life. As he ran through the village, "Giant snake on the rampage, run away!" he shouted, as people moved out of his way. But there was a person in a cloak who did not move. "Get out of the way," he said. "Move!" But the person did not move as Naruto barreled right into them. He didn't have time as the person landed right on his shoulder. Naruto got up as he kept on running. "What are you doing? Stop!" "Put me down," the person said. "Stop!" But Naruto did not stop. "Can't stop," he says. He kept on running. As Naruto arrived towards the lake that separated him from the dry land, he turned and saw the snake coming. He leaped. As he landed on the water and started to run for his life. "What the hell did you do to make it mad?" the person said that was on his shoulders. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." "What is there to believe about this whole thing?" the person said. As Naruto laughed, "Well, I can't swim, but I can run on water. So my sensei decided that I shouldn't be hesitant when doing it anymore." "So she sent a snake after you?" the person asked. "Pretty much. I'm Naruto. And this is Nebi-chan, by the way." "You are nuts. Do you have any idea how dangerous this thing is?" "Is that any more dangerous than one behind us?" Naruto asked. "I guess you're right. I'm Hakari." Back in the village, Giant Snake kept on moving around. As Naruto and the person on his back has returned, they were hiding in a barrel. The snake moved past them, as the both of them fell out. "Whoa, that was close," Hakari said. His hood had fell down when he had come out of the barrel. As Naruto looked towards him, he blinked. Hakari was not exactly normal. His hair and eyes were the same color as Irish. As his hair fell down his back in a ponytail, his skin looked like blue scales. His teeth were sharp. At the base of his neck was 5 gills. He noticed Naruto was staring as he reached up to realize his hood was down. "You idiot!" He ran away and leaped in the water. "Wait!" said Naruto. As Hakari swam away towards the old shack, but Naruto was immensely fast. He ran on the surface. As Naruto caught up, as he came towards the old shack. "What did I do?" said Naruto. Hakari turned to see Naruto there. "He's fast," he thought to himself. Before he sighed, "Do you have any idea how hard it was to get in there? What a cloak! You wretched, pathetic human! There is no word foul enough for you," he said. Naruto was confused. "Hold on," he said, stepping closer. Hakari balled his fist and punched Naruto right in the face, knocking Naruto in the water. "Get up here so I can do that again," Hakari said. As Naruto was not coming back up, he then remembered. Oh shit. He leaped in the water and pulled Naruto out and brought him back to dry land. "You better not need CPR because I'm not gonna do it," Hakari said. Naruto reached up and tested his jaw. "Ouch," he said. "That was one hell of a right hook." "I'm a fishman. What did you expect?" "A fishman?" "Like Arlong?" said Naruto. "Yeah." "How did you know?" "Call me a fan," said Naruto. "Able to freely move from land to water. That must be cool." "You will think so, but it is not. I'm lost out here. I'm all alone. So it's kind of hard to get supplies when everyone think that you're a sea monster." "Is that what you were doing in town?" said Naruto. "Yeah, you're obviously not from around here. If you haven't heard some story or other." "Nope, from Konoha, the village. Hidden within the leaf. I bet it's nicer there." Naruto laughed at that. "Something funny about that," he asked. "Yeah, inside joke. You call me human and you meant it as an insult," said Naruto, as he sat up. "People at home call me demon. Counting this one, and not counting my godfather and my close friends. I have been called human about 3 times. Looks like we're both outcasts," said Naruto. "But you can still go get what you need. With my knife broken, I won't be able to hunt for a while." "Is that what you were after?" "Yeah. Here's my old one. It was rusty. Time finally got to it. It was broken an inch away from the handle. Now you have to replace it," he said. "Huh? Why me?" "Because you broke it." "Look, idiot, I can't just walk into town and say, 'Hello, don't mind my appearance, I need a knife.' Who in your right mind would give a monster a knife?" As Naruto did not have a reply to that, it had took him a week of constant searching to find a music store that would sell to him. As Naruto reached into his boot, "Here," he said. He pulled out a stainless steel knife and gave it to him. Hakari pulled it out and looked at it. There was no wear on the knife. It seemed brand new. And it was well designed. This must cost a lot of money. Why give it to me? Well, I don't really use it. At least for anything besides cutting up an apple or such. Hakari groaned. I'll feel guilty if I just take it from you. Look, stay here for some lunch. And you better like sushi. As he went inside. As he was preparing something for them. As Naruto looked towards the house, he got worried. If that was his home, how bad was his cooking? Time skip. Now eat, Hakari said. As Naruto looked at the bowl in front of him. There was enough to feed 6 men. But then again, Hakari was a fish man. And Naruto was no pushover when it comes to food. Even Nebi-chan looked at it, all hungry. I thought there was a food shortage. Only if you rely from across the sea. Hakari says he started to eat. He really had no manners, which suited Naruto quite well because he had no use for them either. He dug in as he tore a piece and brought it towards his small snake friend. When they were finished, Naruto collapsed backwards. As he couldn't even move, his stomach was full. Hey, why don't you sell fish to the village? Naruto asked. I tried once, but they chased me away. That was before I got that cloak. That is it, said Naruto. You're coming with me. Excuse me? Well, you're a great cook and a decent hunter. And Tezuna family isn't doing so well, so I think you should make a trade. You help with the food and they gave you a place to live. Hakari shook his head. That's never gonna happen. They're gonna chase me away. Then offer them something they can't refuse. As Naruto glanced around as he saw the bone of a rather large fish. One of those. You want me to hunt down a Titanic tuna and just give it away? Hakari said. They're hard to find, Naruto asked. That was a baby. And it took me an hour to pull it to shore, even with my strength. Well, that's right. But you didn't have Uzumaki Naruto with you. As he moved over to one of the bones, Hakari watched as Naruto held onto it and snapped it with his bare hand. He was surprised by that. I think we can handle this little old fish, said Naruto, with a beaming smirk. Time skip. I think we can handle a little old fish. Hakari mocked Naruto, as they both looked like they were put through hell. But they had the tuna on their shoulders. What next? You want to play pin the tail on a sea lion? Or maybe you want to ride a giant harsh sea shark? Or maybe you want to eat breakfast with 8,000 micro sharks? Okay, said Naruto. Maybe it wasn't as easy as I thought. But we still got it, didn't we? I was right, you are crazy. Why the hell am I even doing this? For a warm home and friends, said Naruto. As they made their way. Hey, Tsunami, Tazuna, I got dinner. As Tsunami looked at Naruto. That's a big fish. Tazuna came a moment later. How in the hell did you bag that monster? He meant the fish, Hakuyo, said Naruto, as the guy stood behind him. I was able to convince a friend of mine to help me. Trade this for a decent place to live. As Hakari was behind Naruto, hidden from sight. He simply said hello. So what do you think? Willing to make the trade? Like we'll turn that down, said Tazuna. Tsunami asked, doesn't he have a place, she asked. Well, just an old shack by the shore. That is not doing too good. Well, he can stay. And without giving us that fish, she said. What? Hakuyo said, as he dropped the fish and knocked Naruto down. We fought that thing for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. And all you had to do was just ask? Well, if you feel that bad about it, we'll take the fish, said Tazuna. The boy needs the money, Tsunami said. We need the food, said Tazuna. Now what's going on here, Uncle said as she walked up, with Hinata and Sasuke behind her as they look rather tired. Oh hi guys, said Naruto as he introduced them. Meet my new friend. As he got to his feet, his hood coming down. Hello. They just nodded towards him rather normally. They were ninjas. They've seen abnormal things. Tsunami and Tazuna on the other hand. What is he? Tazuna asked. Tsunami punched him over the head. Father, have better manners. Hakari, I'll try to find your room, she said. Naruto, take that fish in the kitchen, Uncle said. Can he help you? He is stronger than I am. She, Hakari said. As Naruto paused. Wait, what? What, just because I'm a girl, I have to like pink or something, or wear a dress? As she picked up the fish, Naruto looked at her in shock. Wait, you're a girl? Why didn't you tell me that before? And all the time I thought you were a guy. You also said you were a fishman. I didn't feel like correcting you, she said. What a dope, said Sasuke. How the hell should I have known, said Naruto. Time skip. Why me? Said Naruto once again, as he was being chased by the giant snake Shinza. For the simple fact that you got away from me. I am one of the greatest hunters that is ever known. You escaped me, under the take that I hunt you down and eat you, the snake said. Well, that was a lie, but Naruto did not need to know that. As Naruto was running through the forest, when the hunt didn't suddenly appear. Sorry, can't fight you right now, as Naruto leaped over his head. Haku watched until he saw the giant snake. Every time I see you, something bad always happens. Then run the other way, said Naruto. No, not gonna happen, Haku said. I need that snake. You can have him, said Naruto. I hope he eats you instead of me. Not that one. The one around your neck. Sorry, you can't have her. I've grown quite attached to her. Shinza wondered what was going on, but he just shook his head and went along with it. They came to the water once again unpredictably. Naruto tried to stay along the shore, but Shinja was chasing after him. He had no choice, as Haku chased after him as well. You and that chibi wallet is not getting away from me. Haku yelled, Hey, respect the lizard, Naruto yelled back. Snakes are reptiles, not lizard, Shinja said, as he kept on chasing after them. Time skip. You think he gave up, Naruto asked, as both him and the ninja stood in a tree. More than likely he's catching his breath. My friend is dying, give me the snake. Not a chance, said Naruto. I can't just let you take her, unless you surrender and we will allow you to make the cure. But none otherwise, said Naruto. Then, it looks like we're at odds right now, Haku said. Sure does, said Naruto. Their hands tightened around the branch. As Naruto threw a punch, Haku knocked it to the side and threw one himself. Naruto ducked under the fist. He came back up and swung his leg forward. The kick hit the tree and broke the top half off. Haku was shocked at that display of strength. As he leaped back, his mask in his face, he launched Senbons. Naruto pulled his guitar off his back and blocked each of them with it, until he said, Oto Oto Fear. Haku trembled, he didn't know what came over him, but a feeling of dread came over him. He had to get away. He tripped as a splinter of the broken tree drove right in his leg. He winced in pain, but the fear was gone. It was a Genjutsu type, thought Haku. As Haku leaped back up towards Naruto and tried to catch him, but Naruto twists as he flipped upside and down. Haku saw his chance. He reached towards the snake to grab it. But Nabi didn't want to leave Naruto, so she bit Haku right on the arm, injecting more venom than she injected in Zabuza. Hell, Haku said as he jumped back. He tore his left sleeve off and wrapped it around his hand to stop the circulation to his hand. Shit, looks like me and Zabuza-sama are in the same boat now. Haku then ran away. As he made his way a distance before he came to a stop, he smirked under his mask, as he pulled back his sleeve to show his real hand that was inside of his cloak. This thing is annoying, but it works. The hand that Nabi bite was nothing but a puppet hand, and the pure diluted venom was now inside of it. Thank you, Nabi-chan, Haku said. He had the cure to heal Zabuza-sama now. He made his way back. As he made his way, he found one of the men that he hated the most, Gato, as he was working on the poison. Gato, come any closer and we'll find a use for this extra snake venom. So that is the whole up, said Gato. Zabuza got bitten by a snake. Well, that's too bad, he said. But I guess that's alright. After all, I wasn't planning on sparing your life anyway. Haku spun to take Gato's life, only to feel two blades stab him right in the gut from his samurais. We were hoping to be able to finish you off, the one with the eye patch said. But the boss decided to let you die like this. Not even 20 feet away from Zabuza, but unable to help him. A real sadistic idea, the other one said, as they pulled their blades out of him. But one I like. Gato went and peeped in the room as he saw Zabuza. He came back out to see one of the greatest missing ninjas in that state. It's priceless. Worth the money I lost over you, and you will be unable to do anything, but just stay here and die. He was about to leave. Oh yeah, I still owe you for breaking my arm. Let's see. As he looked around, he looked towards the venom on the table. Don't you dare touch that! Touch it? No. Heavens no. He lifted his cane and started slamming it down like a club, destroying everything that would make a cure for Zabuza. He then looked towards unused poison. What to do with this? One of the most powerful poison on the earth. I know. As he leaned down and pulled up Haku's shirt and poured the poison on him, right in his stomach, as everyone could hear Haku scream in pain and agony. Moments later, Haku was freezing and sweating. The bastards didn't even check him. They thought he only had senbon, so what's the point? Haku took out the syringe that he used on Zabuza-sama earlier. He had frozen the poison coursing through his system, so he would be alive for a little more longer. He injected himself, as it was able to also slow down the poison as well, from the same syringe that he gave Zabuza-sama earlier. As he got to his feet, he was in agonizing pain. Gato had left one of his men behind, just to watch them both die. As he had to hold his mouth so he wouldn't scream out. The bastard sat on their couch eating their food, with his back to Haku. Haku snuck up on him and drove the needle into his neck. Inside there was hydrochloric acid. His death was painful and agonizing as the man dropped and screamed. Haku made his way towards the unconscious Zabuza. Time was running out. They had no choice. As Haku brought him away, in pain, struggling. Time skip. Uncle-chan, I beg you, not again, said Naruto. Naruto-kun, are you still hesitating? Uncle asked. Naruto swallowed and looked toward the stream. But then he saw someone behind it. He saw the unconscious Zabuza. The hunter nin carrying him over his arm. Barely. The hunter nin kid had blood all over himself. But he was still on his feet. His eyes caught attention with Naruto. As he asked, "Is that offer still good?" Haku said, as he collapsed along with Zabuza as Naruto rushed over there. But guys, to be subscribed right here. If you want to see sports, and do like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notifications they posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.